It never ceases to amaze me what the retro modding community can do. I've had my hands on some seriously impressive mods like the stunning Game Gear that was sent our way by Retro Gear Customs, and even the unhinged Game Boy Advance SP by Boxy Pixel that I just can't seem to put down. And recently, something very cool has dropped by the office, and from what I've been told, this is the first of its kind. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the Game Boy Color DS, or the Nintendo DS Boy Color, or the Game Boy DS Color SP. Who knows, but let's take a look. Before I jump in, I do need to mention that this product is not yet finished. It's a very first draft made by the talented Gameboy Customs over on Instagram, who was kind enough to send this over to show you guys. He's a genius when it comes to mods, and he's informed me that the first draft, which I'm showing you here, does have a few issues, but nonetheless still playable. And in my personal opinion, it's a piece of art that he should be incredibly proud of. And because this is made with passion, you know it's not going to catch fire like the heap of junk I bought on AliExpress a few months ago. He will be making more as time goes by, so if you are interested in these, do drop him a DM, but I will warn you, because these are custom pieces and take forever to make, they won't be cheap. So let's switch to the desk cam and I'll show you around this Game Boy Color DS. I think that's what I'm gonna call it. Okay, so here it is. This is the Game Boy Color SP, and as you can tell, there's a lot of familiar faces that you're seeing here. First of all, if you open up the flip screen, you can definitely tell that this is a Game Boy Color shell, and that's what Gameboy Customs has used to basically keep all of the internals inside, alongside adding 2 extra action buttons in order for you to play DS games. And the flip screen, as you can tell as well, is used from the Game Boy Advance SP, which I thought was absolutely awesome, and it gives it that really nostalgic look, all while keeping the Nintendo feel. And then internally is a Nintendo DS Lite, and what he's done is basically trimmed down the motherboard and used a multi-cart at the back, which is connected to this SD card, allowing you to add your own ROMs. And alongside that, Gameboy Customs has basically added 2 trigger buttons at the back in order for you to play Nintendo DS games. So he's done a lot of work here, and as mentioned, it's definitely nowhere near complete. There's a lot of, you know, trimmings and stuff which isn't perfect, but for a first draft, this is absolutely stunning. On the front, he's added a bit of Kyogre art, which is quite nice. And then if we open it up, you can see that the Nintendo DS internals is working. The shoulder buttons at the back will change the brightness, like so. And unfortunately, it's not touchscreen because he's used a glass cover on the main screen, but because it's a DS, you can use the buttons for all of your gameplay, which is quite nice. So I just went into the multi-cart here, and I can go down and select any game I want that I've loaded pretty much, like Mario Party DS, Metal Slug, Pokemon Gold, White, Sonic Rush, etc, etc. Now, closing that and having a closer look around, you have USB-C charging, your on-off button, your volume rocker, which has been switched just for internal purposes, your trigger buttons, your battery cart, which has no batteries in, it's more of a look into the internals, and that's about it. There's no headphone jack or anything, but that's all you really need, in all honesty. So let's play some games and I'll show you around how this looks when playing actual DS games. So the worst thing happened, basically. Typically when I review products, they run out of battery because I'm filming for hours and testing them for hours on end, and this one ran out of battery. So I went to charge it, it wouldn't charge. I changed the cables, I looked at it internally, and we've came to the conclusion that this accidentally broke in transit from Australia to the UK, which is a long way. So I said to Retro Gear Custom, look mate, I'm not sure I can make a video out of this because I just don't have the gameplay. And we said, okay, that's a real shame. The chances of that happening is very low, but it happened. It is what it is. And then I thought about it for a few days and I looked at the content and I was like, that's the worst thing that could happen from that worst case scenario. He did all of this work to create this masterpiece. He put in effort, money, materials. He sent it across the world to me for me to put in hours filming, and then it break and then nothing come from it. And I think that shines light on the retro modding scene a lot. That all these people create these magnificent, one-of-a-kind products that they're putting hours into, they're trialing and erroring different ways to build it for a small bump in the road, literally to cause it to crumble. And I said to myself, I am gonna upload this video and I am gonna shine light on this awesome device because a lot of time and effort went into it. And for me not to upload a video about it, even though they sent it over, is somewhat disrespectful. So I think this isn't going to be the best quality video on the channel, and I do have footage of things happening on the screens, like B-roll and stuff, so unfortunately that's all I can show you in terms of gameplay. And that's all I can kind of show you in terms of video. I've taken you around it, but when halfway through this video, when the screen went off, that's exactly the time I had to stop filming and basically stop the video. But nonetheless, this video is up, and I really do think that, you know, just because it's broken doesn't mean I shouldn't make a video on it. These things break because they're so fragile, they're so intricate, and the people behind them don't have rule books to follow or textbooks or guides. They're doing it all by hand, by trial and error, going through a ton of materials and time to put this onto the market. And as much as you can't really buy it, I think it's still worth showing you this awesome masterpiece that is a one-of-a-kind Game Boy Color DS. So again, I apologize that I can't show you gameplay, but I thought I'd upload a video anyway. So there you have it, a big thanks to Retro Gear Custom for sending this out, and a big shout out to all of the retro modders out there putting time and effort into this thing, because it is hard. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.